Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to your TVC news of June 4th, 2020, another COVID-19 special. The state of emergency in Ontario is extended to June 30th. A first case of COVID-19 in a local home, and sports field now reopen in the city of Clarence-Rockland. Tuesday, the Ontario legislature voted to extend their state of emergency until June 30th. MPPs are allowing the government to maintain the emergency orders that have been issued to date, including a ban on gatherings of more than 5 people if they're not part of the same household. This vote also maintains the closure of certain businesses, such as restaurants and bars, unless they offer takeout or delivery service. This decision was made to support the government's effort to fight the pandemic and protect public health and safety. Another home in the region for the elderly is affected by COVID-19. The Saint-Viateur de Limoges home has its very first case of the virus. It is an asymptomatic worker who had tested negative in the first test. The employee, who lives in Ottawa and works in Limoges, was retested in a second round of testing at the facility, and the result of the test were positive. The employee self-isolated at home. Last Monday, there was no indication that another staff member or resident had contracted COVID-19. Medical Officer of Health Dr. Paul Roumiliotis says tests were done this week at the Saint-Viateur home. As for the other outbreaks in the region, they are all confirmed resolved. There are now 149 confirmed cases in the region, 107 cases in Prescott-Russell, 27 cases in South Dundas-Glengarry, and 15 cases in Cornwall. In total, 114 cases are considered resolved. The outbreak at the Pinecrest residence was resolved last Sunday. Pinecrest was the first long-term care facility in the Eastern Ontario Health Unit region to experience an outbreak of the virus beginning in mid-April. The number of confirmed cases at the peak of the outbreak was 30 residents and 7 staff members. The nursing home is also the only source of death in the Eastern Ontario region due to complication related to COVID-19. Of the 30 residents infected with the disease, 11 died. Note that the outbreak is now resolved, meaning that there are no further confirmed cases of infection, and all nursing home staff and the 19 surviving residents who were infected have now recovered and are now symptom-free. According to a study by the University of Toronto, Ontario needs to do way more testing before any further deconfining. Hospitals in Ontario will be quickly overwhelmed if the province continues to reopen the economy without increasing testing for COVID-19. For now, says the study, we need to continue to limit large gatherings. The average level of contact Ontarians have with their peers is about 30% of what it should normally be. That's because of the various containment and physical distancing measures in place. According to modeling by Toronto researchers, if this level of contact increases to 50%, the number of cases would rapidly increase and hospital intensive care units would be overwhelmed. The federal government will provide $2.2 billion to municipalities to help them address the financial challenges they faced during the pandemic. That is not what the Federation of Canadian Municipalities was asking for. It was asking the federal government for $10 to $15 billion. But that is better than nothing. Municipalities will have access to that money this month. Hydro will continue to apply its reduced electricity rates until October 31st. The maximum rate that can be charged is 12.8 cents per kilowatt hour. Ontario Premier, the Honourable Doug Ford, has also announced that no one should be turned off for non-payment. As a result, the power outage ban will also be extended until July 31st. The government also announced $8 million to help people who have been affected by COVID-19 to pay their electricity rates. The City of Clarence-Rockland sports fields, including softball, soccer, and basketball courts, are now open. However, beware, they are only open for informal use, respecting the physical distances of 2 meters and avoiding gatherings of more than 5 people. The City of Clarence-Rockland reminds residents to refrain from touching other people's sports equipment and to remain vigilant when using the facilities. The library reopened to the public this week, although with some restrictions. We spoke with Mrs. Katharina Rouse, Clarence-Rockland Public Library Chief Executive Officer, about the reopening. So I am now with Mrs. Katharina Rouse, the CEO of the Clarence-Rockland Public Library. Can you explain what is the procedure for this curbside pickup system that you're now offering?
Well, it's very easy. So today is our first try at it, but so people just have to go onto our website and then log into their account and put on hold books that they want to borrow, and then we will call them and arrange for pickup times. So we are open 2 hours a day for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. That's what we have so far for appointments, and it's really easy. People just drive up on the side here, and we give them their books, and off they go.
And is this going to be a regular thing, or are the hours going to increase or remain pretty much the same throughout the period?
Depending on how many people come by, we may have to increase. We've had 40 people come today, which is our max. We're putting 20 people per hour, so it seems to be doing really well. If we get a lot of response, we will definitely increase the hours.
All right, so right now it's a full house, if I get this correct.
House, that's right. Oh, and I forgot to mention also, we are also doing this in Bourget as well, at the branch there.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
And we'll try to send more customers your way.
Perfect, thank you.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us for another episode of your TVC News. We'll see you next week.